Heavy rain continues across the south as snow squalls continue to impact portions of the northeast with an Arctic system that's driving its way through the region, bringing some very frigid temperatures, potentially into the negative 20s and 30s here for tomorrow night. We are watching a few other rounds here of some precipitation to move its way into portions of California, something we are going to look at on the horizon. In today's video, we're going to take a look here at the future radar view, the overall expectancies on precipitation over the next few days, as well as the extended range forecast in terms of what can we see here down in time. All of that latest information coming right up. Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back here to another video. I hope you guys are doing all right out there. So for today's question of the day, I am wanting to know, what is your favorite season? Leave it down in the comments below and I just might pin your comment. Now guys, we have a lot of stuff to talk about here for today, so let's go ahead and get right on into it. Alright, so we're taking a look here at the current radar view regarding what's going on in the southeast. We are seeing that continuous rainfall from this big ice system that drove its way through the southern country. Absolutely crazy, we've talked about here. Now this will be out here by later on this afternoon, kind of around a little bit past noon, maybe 2, 3 o'clock. This should mostly be out of the country, as we will see here on the future radar view. Across the northeast, we are continuing to see a lot of snow squalls across portions of those interior northeast regions. We were actually doing a live stream here earlier, and we've seen some pretty crazy stuff there, you know, in regarding to whiteout conditions and all. Now there is some good news with this. Now by the time that this line reaches its way here towards the coastal northeast, you know, towards like Boston, Philadelphia, towards like New York City, this should not really be a big concern with any type of snow squall activity. So overall, there could be a few snow showers, but really not going to be as crazy as what we've seen here earlier in the live stream. Now across the central and western part of the country, we are actually relatively clear for the most part. Now according to things, there might be a little bit of snow showers kicking off here towards North and South Dakota in the time of this video, which I am recording this around 2 in the morning here, just to give you guys the latest update with everything. But it is relatively fine there. We do have a high pressure system that is in place across the central plains into the portions of the Midwest, leading to some pretty overall nice conditions. Now here across the west, now it looks pretty clear right now, but you can kind of start to see there's a little bit of moisture getting ready to move its way into the regions here, as we are getting ready to discuss on the future radar view. That is another shot of potential rain for areas of California. Alrighty guys, switching on over here into the future radar view based off of the NAM 3-kilometer model. This is basically just a reference to see what things could look like down in time. So if you guys want to follow along with the time, we are seeing the time in the far top right corner if you guys do want to follow along with all that. So anyways, we track our way down here through time kind of until the morning hours here, kind of morning, afternoon hours here, around 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Now we are going to be starting to see a bit of moisture moving its way into portions of the western country here. We'll actually zoom back here just a little bit. You'll see some rainfall for the early morning hours start to move into areas of northwestern California. Maybe some snow for those upper elevations being possible. And speaking of snow, across the Ohio Valley and northeast, we are continuing to see a bit of snow shower activity here as a result from this Arctic frontal system that moved through. And across the south, like I was mentioning before, kind of around maybe 1, 2, 3 o'clock or so, a lot of the rain should be out of the regions here. Now, there might be a possibility of a storm or two across portions of Florida, but overall, that's nothing unusual about Florida, to be honest with you guys. But other than that, it is relatively clear. Alrighty, guys, so we're taking a look here at the Storm Prediction Center regarding any form of severe weather that might be possible over the next few days. So we take a look here at today's risk here. We actually do not have any concern regarding any severe weather. As mentioned before, there's a possibility of maybe a few thunderstorms towards Florida, which, like I said, is not really anything unusual about Florida. In the form of severity, they are not expected to be anything life-threatening. Here for tomorrow, we have a small little sliver right there by the subscribe button. Hey, by the way, consider hitting that subscribe button. But anyways, here towards like Miami, we are seeing maybe a little thunderstorm threat here for tomorrow, being on Saturday the 4th. Then we track our way into Sunday. Actually, kind of the same thing there for Miami. Maybe some more thunderstorms right there by the subscribe button. Consider hitting that subscribe button. Be greatly appreciated. Alright, you guys, so I figured since all the rain is going on across the southeast, it would only be appropriate if we take a look here at the accumulations that's going to be possible out of this. Now, there's actually a decent amount of rain that has already fallen out of this event here, but as of now, between now being like 2:30 in the morning, as well as, like you said, pretty much by afternoon, this should be out. We are seeing the potential of maybe some areas here, kind of in this dark green, almost blue shaded color, potentially seeing maybe up to a ½ inch of rain here between this morning and this afternoon. So overall, honestly, maybe a decent amount of rain could be possible for some of these regions. Now, there actually is a locally higher area here towards like Miami, we might actually see anywhere near an inch, possibly. You know, maybe a little bit more rain towards those locations. Theoretically, could be possible. Once again, that's the official forecast from the National Weather Service. Alrighty, my friends, so now we move into what people would consider to be the best part of the video. We're taking a look here at the extended range forecast to see what possibly could be around the horizons there, maybe far out there. We'll just take a look at a few models just basically to see what's going on here. But anyways, like I said, across southeast with the current time, we have the rainfall, the little snow squalls across the northeast, a little bit of moisture moving its way across California. Nothing we didn't talk about. So anyways, we track away even further down into time for basically areas here of the 5th through the 6th. And through the 7th. So here for the 7th, there's a possibility we could see a low pressure system over here kind of towards southern Canada, maybe kicking up some snow towards like Wisconsin, towards Minnesota. This has actually been in the models for the last few days, actually, in the last several runs from this GFS model. So overall confidence, I'd say is about a 70% chance. I mean, honestly, I really think that this could definitely play out here. But overall, if you noticed, between now and the 7th, it is actually relatively dry because, like I said, we have that high pressure in place in central country. Expect a lot of sunshine, but probably still some pretty cold air here overall. But like I said, we track away a little bit further, just a few days further. Like I said, I really don't like taking these models too far out because they become very inaccurate. There's been talks of a system that could develop here for the 9th and the 10th here, tracking its way up and maybe causing a snow concern. But look at this. There's a pretty strong cold front on this thing too, which honestly, like I said, with the latest trends in the warm southeast and all the moisture and stuff, would not be surprising if there were some severe storms on that, if it did exist. Like I said, I'm not saying it is. I give this about a 50-50 shot of actually occurring here. Because like I said, I mean, it's about 7 days out, which like I said, I really don't like going past 5 days, but let's just keep it on the back burner, and if things continue to show the way they are, then we'll talk more about it. Now, just as something to compare to, since we really can't just look at one model, so now we're taking a look at the European model. Now, this one is basically just to nail the head in the coffin here, basically to look at, see what the similarities and differences are. So we track our way down here through time. Now, here for the 7th, as we were talking about, low pressure system across portions of Canada. You guys can barely see that, but it does kick up some snow, possibly for Wisconsin, maybe for areas of Minnesota, but it kind of shows that snow maybe being pushed a little bit further up to the north, which could be a little different regarding things. But you know what, guys? This model also does support that system for basically the 9th and the 10th, maybe firing off a little earlier compared to what the GFS had to say. But once again, a pretty strong looking cold front there. Possibility maybe of some severe thunderstorms. Like I said, this is not for sure, but it's a probability. And both the major models are supporting this about a week out, which is definitely pretty interesting. But anyways, my friends, well, I think that's going to wrap up the quick little update for you. I don't want to keep you guys here too long. Just wanted to give you guys a little update here on what's going on across the weather world. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you leave a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Like I said, if you guys are new, it'd be greatly appreciated. Once again, the question of the day is, what is your favorite season? Don't forget to post that down in the comments below. But once again, everybody, thank you all so much for joining us. We'll be doing a live stream later on tonight for Personal Forecast. Hope to see you guys there, probably around 6, 7 Eastern time. All right, my friends, once again, thank you all for joining us, and we'll catch you guys here in the next one. Love y'all. Stay safe out there. See you in the next one.